Sun sinks slow, but the night's still young. Feel the beat of the island drum. One last chance for a story to tell, and last shot bar where legends dwell. This is your last shot, make it count. Raise your glass, turn the night around. Laughter loud, lights aglow, and last shot bar. Anything goes. Anything goes. Palm trees sway as the crowd rolls in. A spark in the air, let the night begin. Flip a coin, take a chance, don't delay. At last shot bar, it's your getaway. One step closer to the stars. Feel alive right where you are. This is your last shot, make it count. Raise your glass, turn the night around. Laughter loud, lights aglow, and last shot bar. Anything goes. Anything goes. Dive into the rhythm, dance on the breeze. Feel the island spirit, let it set you free. The clock says late, but who's keeping time? At last shot bar, it's always prime. It's always prime. This is just a shot, make it count. Raise your glass, turn the night around. Laughter loud, lights aglow, and last shot bar. Anything goes. Anything goes. Anything goes.
AP News. I'm Ed Donahue. Secretary of State Marco Rubio says details are still being worked out to end the war with Iran. The AP's Joe Fetterman in Jerusalem reports officials say Iran has agreed to give up its stockpile of highly enriched uranium and would reopen the Strait of Hormuz.
In return, the U.S. is expected to end its blockade of Iran's ports and lift some sanctions against Iran. The deal does not appear to end Iran's support for proxy groups across the region or halt its ballistic missile program. That would fall short of the goals set out by Israel when it launched this war with the U.S. back in February.
President Trump paid tribute to the soldiers killed in Iran after laying a wreath at the Tomb of the Unknowns on Memorial Day at Arlington National Cemetery. Here's the AP's Julie Walker.
We honor those who fell so that our republic might stand, those who died so that our nation could live, those who gave up their sacred light on earth so that the sublime light of American freedom would shine forever and ever.
Trump also paid tribute to Gold Star families in attendance who lost loved ones.
They've not just made the ultimate sacrifice, they've offered the ultimate proof that we Americans do indeed love liberty.
Also with the president, his vice president, J.D. Vance, Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth, other members of the military and of his cabinet. I'm Julie Walker.
Palestinian hospital officials say a Palestinian woman and a young girl have been killed in an Israeli airstrike in southern Gaza. Ugandan health authorities report 2 new Ebola cases, bringing the number of infections there to 7. All the cases are linked to a much bigger outbreak in Congo. Today was the hottest day ever in the UK in May. A heat wave is covering Europe. Heat may be to blame for 2 deaths over the weekend in France. Wall Street, the markets are closed today for Memorial Day. This is AP News. The AP's Rika Ann Garcia reports there are worries about the relationship between Russia and Belarus.
Belarus's exiled opposition leader is visiting Kiev as the Ukrainian capital cleans up after Russia's biggest missile attack of the year. World leaders are keeping a close eye on how much support the Belarusian government is ready to provide for Moscow's all-out invasion of Ukraine. Russia and its ally Belarus held joint nuclear drills, and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has increasingly warned in recent days that Belarus could provide a launchpad for Russia to open a new front in northern Ukraine. Some Russian troops enter Ukraine from Belarusian territory in Moscow's invasion in 2022. As concerns grow about a possible Belarusian role, French President Emmanuel Macron has spoken by phone with the Belarusian president. I'm Rika Ann Garcia.
And I'm Ed Donahue. AP News.
After Super Typhoon Sinlaku, recovery isn't just about rebuilding homes and clearing debris. It's about taking care of each other. It's normal to feel stress, fear, or sadness during recovery. Healing isn't a straight path. Take it one day at a time. Acknowledge your feelings. Stay connected with family and neighbors. Build small daily routines. And if it gets overwhelming, reach out. Seeking support is a sign of strength. NMPOSSE's PIME program is here for CNMI residents. Call 670-235-7273 or 670-789-6021 or visit nmposse.org. Together we rebuild, and together we heal. You are stronger than the storm. A message from NMPOSSE's PIME program, paid for by the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration.
If you see something, say something, and stay anonymous. Call Crime Stoppers at 234-7272 or submit a tip online at nmicrimestoppers.com. No names, no caller ID, no recordings, just your info. And if your tip leads to an arrest, you could earn up to $1,000 in cash. Your tips have helped take hundreds of criminals off the streets in the NMI. It works because of you. Crime Stoppers, we want your information, not your name. PHI is your local pharmacy serving customers in Cagman, Garapan, and Dandan since 1996. Shop PHI Pharmacy for all your prescriptions, and we even offer a large line of multivitamin supplements. Our Dandan location is open weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 4 on weekends. Or visit our Garapan and Cagman locations weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 1 on Saturdays. Check us out online at phipharmacy.com or follow us on Facebook. PHI is a locally owned independent community Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
Alarm clock bark, sky still gray, radio clicks on, static haze. Good morning, Marianas, in my face, Brad yelling, wake up, Saipan, no escape. Coffee burns my lip, he laughs in my kitchen, talks like he knows every bruise that I am in. Good morning, Marianas, rise up, Saipan, hearts on the harbor, headlines in his hand. Good morning, Marianas, live from the reef to the ridge, bread with the weather, and a dare on the bridge. Traffic on Beach Road, kids half dressed. He jokes about rain and unpaid rent. Says call the show, tell me what you regret. Then plays our song like a second chance bet. He says, say your name, we say it like a prayer. Through busted speakers, we are almost there. Good morning, Marianas, rise up, Saipan, rocket spinning in my head. Good morning, Marianas. Rise up, Saipan. Bad roads, good stories, all part of the plan. Good morning, Marianas. Yeah, shout it again. Brad says you are awake, so start living it then.
Good morning, Marianas. I'm laughing at this conversation I'm having. I just threw a little curveball in there. Totally a joke, that last line. Good morning, 7:42 here in the morning on Tuesday. It is the day after. It is not swimsuits, I can tell you that. But anyway, good morning, Marianas. It is 7:42 on Tuesday, day after Memorial Day. And just having a good one to get the day started right over here. My goodness, I needed that. I needed that stupid little laugh, and now I'm feeling pretty good about everything. Anyway, it is good stuff today. We got a lot going on in the Marianas, and so many good stories. Believe me, I know I get all the negative stuff from the posts and stuff like that from you guys too. I do get it, and I do see some of that. But man, the good stuff that's happening out there is really something special. And, you know, there were people like, hey, how come there's not going to be an official ceremony over at the Veteran Cemetery yesterday? I'm like, nah. Well, you know, there's a lot going on, man. Like, people are doing literally everything to try and get the island put back together. So I can totally understand how they're not able to do that. But what ended up happening ended up being a beautiful thing also. The people of the CNMI came out. They did a motorcade to get everybody from the airport field, drive around the island, make their way all over, get up to the Veterans Cemetery and have a few words. And then it was brief, the small comments and everything like that, but it was great. And to see everybody and everyone was interacting with each other. It wasn't just a solemn occasion, which it was, but it was a great opportunity for everybody to get together and celebrate the folks who gave everything for their country and for their island and for their village and for their families and everything. People who volunteered to serve and lost it all. Yesterday was beautiful. It was a great event for something that was not officially a big event. You couldn't ask for. It was so wholesome. And it was wonderful. And that scene played itself out in Tinian as well. They had the big ceremony over in Rhoda as well. Beautiful stuff. Marianas, I'm telling you, we are in a special place. Have been, continue to be. And it really just was, it was really nice yesterday. Really loved it. I didn't get there till after the big stuff. I got stuck in here. But it was still great to be there to see everybody. And, you know, I got all kinds of photos and videos, and we'll put those up today. And a lot of folks who are really talented at shooting photos and videos sent us a bunch of stuff, too. So thank you so much for all that for the beginning part. It really was a special day. Hey, by the way, today is also a special day. Not that kind of special. It's a different kind of special. It's a special day for the folks here who are trying to get their businesses back online. There is the grand opening today of the Business Recovery Center over there at the Chamber of Commerce. The Small Business Administration is setting up shop over there at the Chamber of Commerce. Now, we were going to have them in here, funny enough, over the weekend. Was it Friday? Yeah, Friday. We were going to have them in on Friday, and then kind of got thrown a curveball. So we ended up waiting till today. I know that they were open to do some interviews and everything like that yesterday, but we just held off. We're just like, we'll get there today when the thing opens up. So today, we will be there for it. The excuse me, my goodness, where'd that come from? The opening of the Small Business Administration's grand opening today. Now, we already posted it and stuff like that. Ooh, I don't think I actually put that on the website. I'm looking for it. Oh my God, I didn't. It's on the social media. I'll make sure I put it on the on the website as well. Oh my gosh. Derelict in his duties is what they will say about me one day when I grow up. Anyway, good morning it's great to see all of you guys. In fact, even you, Bruce Camacho, it's good to see you too. Great to see you guys. Hey, Maureen, watching from the mainland, happy Memorial Day to you. It is still Memorial Day over there. Louisa, well, hello, Miss Doubtfire voice. I love it. Good morning to you. Great to see you. And, you can't stop the yawning. Once it gets started, it just keeps going. Josie, great to see you. Good morning to you. And Bruce, hey, man, I always get, man. It's always great to see you, brother. It was good to see you yesterday, too, out there at the cemetery. Marianne Kaliliman saying, Lesor moi moi. And no, I still can't pronounce that. Man. Nelu. I need it. I need to hear it. I think I just need to hear it once. And that's how it's going to help me out. I'm just going to keep killing it. Oh, my gosh. I'm going to take a sip of coffee. And I'm sipping coffee out of this great mug from Great Harvest. You guys are the best. By the way, they have those great breakfast sandwiches over there. I'm a little partial to the promo one that they gave us is pretty good. But the one I really like is I use that high five fiber since I haven't been able to get as many vegetables lately. But then I get the bacon. It's nice and crispy, and then with pepper jack cheese, and then they got the eggs. Oh my gosh, the best breakfast sandwich ever. It's inexpensive. It's a good deal. You get to be in a great place. They make that bread fresh every single day, and they make those great sandwiches, and it's conveniently located right down the street in CK, right where everywhere you want to be. You got Surf Club, you got Surf Rider, you got Great Harvest. Oh, what's next door? Oh, you got Last Job Bar. What's past that? You got Laddie Built 24-hour fitness. Is there anywhere else that you'd want to be? I don't think so. They got a great spot over there. That's where I would want to be for sure. Sasha Camacho's in the house. Good morning. Great to see you. Thanks for joining us today. It is great. All the way out there in the mainland, which, by the way, we are working on trying to get out there next month for the, in fact, it's 1 month from today, the Chamorro Festival out there in Washington, in Tacoma. My gosh, can you imagine? I can't wait. I haven't been out there in 30 years since I've been out there all the way in Washington. So we'll see how that works out. I'm excited about it. Working with some good folks from here, trying to put all those final finishing touches on together. And in doing that, we'll be doing the show every day the whole time that we're out there, and then bringing you all of the cultural awesomeness that will be out there for everybody. It'll be great. Speaking of great things happening in the Pacific Northwest, now we've been doing all these little stories about the show us the good out there because we want to make sure that you guys get to see some cool things. Well, speaking of Washington, this lady drove all the way from Texas in a U-Haul by herself, 52 hours. Must have took an overnight somewhere. Took a little bit of a break. And I think that's the smart way to go. Oh, hold on. I got the other camera on there. I don't need that one on there. But take a look. This is a story that we got, part of the Show Us the Good out there. 33-year-old mother of 4. She's like, she works for DHL, but they didn't DHL all this stuff. They put it in a U-Haul. That is not a small truck. Popped it up there, drove all the way from Texas to Washington, not doing it like a crazy person. She actually took a break along the way so that they could load the shipment to the CNMI. Sandy Germanaro, she works at DHL in Texas. I got the heads up from her husband. Said, hey, you need to know about this story. I'm like, yes, I do. That is such a great story. I love it. Anyway, they're all coming here, and they got all these supplies to send to folks here in the CNMI. They got them in Texas. They needed to get them here. She's like, you know what? I'll do it. I'll drive up there. So she drove by herself. How about that? Congratulations. I'm being awesome. And thank you. Thank you so much. Just lovely. There's so many great stories like this. And it's not the only one. There are more stories like this out there. And that's why we got to keep telling them. When you get upset, you get frustrated by, oh, there's other photos here, by. Look at that. She packed up her truck, loaded up that U-Haul, and drove from Texas all the way to Washington so it can get shipped. That is awesome. That is just awesome. Who does that? She does. Way to go. Way to go. Congratulations on being an awesome human being. And thank you from the bottom of our hearts out here in the CNMI for sharing your love for everybody out here. This is really special. Yeah. Hey, good morning, Vicky. Vicky Camacho de la Cruz is there saying good morning, Brad, and the NMI News Service. Good morning to you. Thanks for joining us today. Marianne, Labor Day in Portland. I haven't been to Portland in all that time, too. I don't know if I can make multiple trips back there, especially because that would be fun, especially this year, because it's going to be a big election year. So everybody's going to come out again. And, you saw all the faces this last year. So you know that it was going to be, you could already tell who was running for office and what kind of positions based on who actually went to Labor Day last year. So we'll see that. This would be the year to go. Portland, Labor Day, be there. We had a really cool CNMI softball tournament last year. We had a great one this past weekend, too. Oh, Robert's going. He's going to Labor Day. Oh, no way. That's going to be awesome. Good morning. Robert Harrison Myers Jr. saying, what's up, Brad, in the news? That matters. That's right. Good to see you. By the way, there's other good stories. Let me give you a couple other ones real quick before we take that break at the top of the hour. What's another one? Oh, yeah, this was great. I love this too. Some folks out there in Oregon, in Salem, Oregon, put on a big one. It's a big diaspora community. Now, it's not just one group. It's people from all over. And it was all about like all the whole diaspora community coming together on this one from different places to celebrate and each other and to help get some funds and some supplies for the folks out here in Micronesia, not just here in the CNMI. This is for here and Chute. And they held it at the Elks Lodge in Salem, Oregon. They had a big garage sale. They also had a big donation drop-off. During the day, they had a comedy show. They had a jam session. And they had a whole bunch of folks from the CNMI's Chamorro and Rafalo Watch communities, Palau and Tuk. It's great. CNMI Re. I love it. Led by Ishani Irie Tudela. Irie Eyes, you'll see her on social media. Lawrence Huckug, Manny Brown Tenorio, Charles Rose, Colfred Metau. And he performs as Col de Local. I love it. And hookahs with Rhoda Times, Commonwealth, and Hoffa Stone. And they raised $3,000. How awesome was that? And stuff. They had raffles, they had vendors, they had all kinds of contributions that came in. And they're going to be sending all this stuff. And they're trying to figure it out. They're going to send stuff to Saipan, Tinian, and Chuk. They got to figure out how they're going to split it all up. You were there. Oh my God, that's so great, Marianne. That is so awesome. Hey, if you took some pictures, send them over so we can see you guys. That is so great. Anyway, it looked like it was an awesome event. Like a lot of fun. In fact, you listen to the way Shani was telling us about it. She's like, hey, bringing everyone together in for unity for the cause was division. And I'm so happy that her CNMI Re team was able to achieve that. All the performers brought their best and the vibes and energy stayed through the night. No negative vibes at all. That is right. That's great. Said the event drew members from Chamorro, Rafaloach, Palauan, Chukis, Marshallese, and Filipino communities. That's awesome. That's right. That's right. It takes them all. Everyone comes together. It was not just one. It was pretty sweet. I love it. Just looking at the pictures, I could tell it was a jam. Love to be there. See if we can't get, I really want to get out there just to see everybody and see how great it is. I mean, really. There's some other good things that were happening out there. Oh, let's stay with that bringing stuff vibe and that storyline. Here's another one. This one's really cool. They reached out to us from DHL. The folks from DHL were so proud of their employee who put this together. Joey Indalecio Duenas. He saw all this stuff happening when the typhoon was going on. Now, he moved out to Washington in 2014. He works for DHL. He started as a delivery driver in 2018. But of course, he's from here. And so when they saw what was happening with the typhoon, he got approval from everybody. Seattle, Guam, Saipan. Said, hey, what can we do? Launched a big donation drive out of the SeaTac facility. That's Seattle, Tacoma. And they got all kinds of stuff. People throughout the network came from everywhere to bring stuff. And shipping through DHL is not free. But they made it happen. They got it because of their coordination with all the different offices from DHL. And then they got stuff sent out to a lot of local organizations with their coordination from DHL Express in Guam and Saipan. They got stuff to Project Buddy Check 670, Caridot, Ohala Foundation. And all kinds of relief items went to Saipan and Tinian. But what I love about it, it's that his colleague from Saipan is the one who said, hey, you got to talk about this guy. This is awesome. Yeah. Sherry Macaranas Tupas said, hey, Brad, you need this story. Let me tell you about it. Sent an email. Gave us all the info on this. I love this story. And here's the story. That's over there in Tinian, I think. Picking up some of the supplies. That's them working through getting it from Saipan to Tinian there through Max, coming over from Guam. That's the Project Buddy Check guys with the team from DHL. Just awesome. You gotta love it. Great stories. People going above and beyond what they need to do because they want to be a part of it. They want to be a part of putting the Marianas back together again. Just amazing stories out there, guys. Now, there was another story that wasn't as happy, but it has a great ending. No, I'm not going to call it a happy ending. It's a different kind. But sad at the start. But this talks about how big of an impact you guys can have on the CNMI. This is a story of a dog that went missing. And they said, Brad, can you help us get our dog back? Can you please post this? Yes, of course. They said, hey, this is our family member. This is not just some dog. We went out, we tried, and the only thing left was the collar. Somebody took the dog and left the collar. What can you do? Can you help us? Yes, of course. Let's put it out there. We get it out there. We got it out yesterday morning. There's an update to this story. This dog is back and reunited with its owner. She was returned yesterday in the evening. It didn't even take a full day from posting it. You guys out there made that happen. You did. You got that girl reunited with her family. You certainly did. Well done. Well done, Marianas. I love this little story. It is cool. Now, we got like real heavier news stuff to talk about. And we will. We're going to talk about that in just a little bit. But my goodness, I'm telling you guys, it's just some great stuff out there. All right, hey, we've got news updates, we got weather updates, we got all kinds of stuff. I mean, we could do traffic, you name it, we got all of it. But first, we're going to take a little break. We'll be right back.
Hey, bro, can I grab your bush?
Yeah, man, go for it.
Right on. Thanks, bro. Hey, bro, can I grab your bush too?
Sure, bro. Go ahead.
Thanks.
Now I can grab my own bush. Saipan, it's time to grab your bush. Pick up a 12-pack of ice-cold bush, and you're in for more than just a refreshing beer. Every 12-pack gives you a chance to win exclusive bush gear and more. So don't wait. Swing by your favorite store, grab your bush, and join the fun. Because here in Saipan, the best moments are even better with Bush. Grab your bush today.
If you think girls and women's equality matter, stand up. If girls and women's sports matter, and you want your daughters to have the same opportunity you had, stand up. If you know that it isn't fair or safe to allow males to compete in girls' sports, because it's, well, obvious, stand up. Don't be cowed by people who call you a bigot. You're not a bigot. Don't let men tell us how to be good girls. Don't let others tell you you just need to be quiet. Sit down. Be nice. It's not nice to further a lie. It's not mean to believe in women's equality. We deserve our own sports, privacy, fairness, safety. We deserve a chance to compete and win. So don't be nice. Don't be careful. Be honest. Be brave. Fight for women. We've come too far to give up now. And if you agree with that, stand up and stand with us.
Shiny smiles all around, where happiness is found. It's the little things that make it true. Shiny smiles start with you.
Fox Sports Update.
The world's biggest sporting event is almost here. We are now 18 days away from the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Fox Sports soccer analyst Alexei Lalas telling Fox and Friends why this is such a big deal for soccer as well as for America.
It's an opportunity for us not just to celebrate the sport, but to celebrate what I feel is the greatest country in the world on our 250th birthday. So there's a lot to celebrate this summer, and you can do it through the lens of this World Cup.
Now, Lawless knows a little something about what he's talking about. He was a member of Team USA for the 1994 FIFA World Cup. The members of the U.S. men's national team roster, they will be announced on Tuesday at South Street Seaport in New York City. The roster reveal will be televised on Fox beginning at 3 p.m. Eastern Time on Tuesday. Team USA's World Cup opener, that'll be on Friday, June 12th at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, California. The opponent, Paraguay. The game begins at 9 p.m. Eastern on Fox. And you can download the Fox Sports Podcast. Head over to Apple, Spotify, or frankly, wherever you go to download your favorite podcasts. I'm Frank Lanza.
Get more on the Fox Sports app and foxsports.com.
If you see something, say something, and stay anonymous. Call Crime Stoppers at 234-7272 or submit a tip online at nmicrimestoppers.com. No names, no caller ID, no recordings, just your info. And if your tip leads to an arrest, you could earn up to $1,000 in cash. Your tips have helped take hundreds of criminals off the streets in the NMI. It works because of you. Crime Stoppers, we want your information, not your name. PHI is your local pharmacy serving customers in Cagman, Garapan, and Dandan since 1996. Shop PHI Pharmacy for all your prescriptions, and we even offer a large line of multivitamin supplements. Our Dandan location is open weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 4 on weekends. Or visit our Garapan and Cagman locations weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 1 on Saturdays. Check us out online at phipharmacy.com or follow us on Facebook. PHI is a locally owned independent community Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
Golden sands under my feet, waves crashing loud, a steady beat, palms swaying left, swaying right, endless blue from day to night. Siren calling, feel the breeze, taste the ocean, salty seas. Siren calling, hearts collide, paradise where dreams reside. Barbecue smoke fills the air, street stalls glow without a care. Red rice served with love so true, Kelligan shining in the view. Drums pounding in the distance, dance ignites the night's persistence. Saipan calling, feel the breeze, taste the ocean, salty seas. Saipan calling, hearts collide, paradise where dreams reside. Tomorrow chants, they rise, they fall, history carved in every wall. Tinian whispers ancient lore, Saipan soul forevermore. Saipan calling, feel the breeze, taste the ocean, salty seas. Saipan calling, hearts collide, paradise where dreams reside. Saipan calling, feel the breeze, taste the ocean, salty seas. Saipan calling, hearts collide, paradise where dreams reside. Dreams reside. Dreams
All right, CNMI, welcome back. It is 8:09 in the morning, and we are just cruising for a bruising over here in the Marianas, just getting it going. We have a pretty awesome show lined up. In fact, we're about to, it's funny, I was not expecting this part. Looks like we may have another in-studio guest in just a little bit, but before we get to that point, we're going to have our interview, well, like kind of our joint show thing, something that we do anyway with the folks over there in Guam. I'm excited about it. I just got to make sure I can get it on the screen for you too, so it's not going to be too cray when we get on there. There we go. Boom. I just want to make sure that the volume's not up when we do it. We're going to be on with our buddies. Hold on. Well, our friends with the Ray Gibson show in just about a minute or two. So we've done this before. We do it a lot where we do that joint show stuff. It's a lot of fun. I really enjoy doing it. In fact, let me see if I can't figure it out here. That's going to be, I just got the wrong screen on there for you, but when you guys see it, you're going to be like, oh, that's so cool. Or you're going to be like, no big deal. I've seen it. This is true. I know. We've done it. It's not anything new for you guys. You've seen us do it before. So, but I am getting it set up on the screen so it'll look cool. We don't know exactly how the audio syncs up. It doesn't usually work out perfect, but we still are able to nail it somehow. Somehow we always get a way to figure it out. Anyway, we're about to call them in just a couple of minutes. I told them, they said 8:15. I said, yeah, 8:15 sounds great. And that's it. Yeah, 8:15 sounds great. Ooh, hold on one second. Hold on. I want to add something to somebody here. Bum, bum, bum. Boom. Right before we make that call. Anyway, I'm laughing at something I just sent. Some folks would know. Holy cow, Bruce Camacho is over there on the YouTube side. He's here, he's there, he's everywhere. No kidding. All right, well, anyway, we'll get to it. We are just a couple of minutes away from making that phone call. Before we do, though, a couple other things that are out there. I want to say, hey, we were talking about some of the good things that are happening out there, and why wouldn't we? Because it is really awesome to see all the good news happening. But we got a message from some folks from Guam. In fact, a proud husband said, hey, Thomas Alger said, hey, my wife's over there in Guam, and she's been great for you guys. Let me tell you all about her. So he sent us a message about his wife, Nanette, and that she's been out here since a week after the storm. And she's going to be here all the way until it's done. She's been here through her birthday. And that she's not the only one. One of her coworkers is also out here, who's been out here throughout the whole thing. And that's John Duenas. They've been here for the past month. It was 1 month yesterday. And that they're not going to come home until the mission is accomplished, until there's 100% power. They're here till the end. Or at least until CUC's done with them. I mean, I think that's how it works. Well, anyway, I love this story. We've got that on there also. Anyway, let's give these guys a call over there in Guam. Let's give them a ring.
Is that you, Brother Brad?
It is.
Brother Brad, hold on, please. Hold on one moment, sir.
These leaders, and they missed an opportunity, I think, to make some necessary changes in the operations at GMH.
Yeah, I think so too. We always talk about cost cutting and cut down the personnel and the staff.
Well, you can hear he's on the call right now, and they're gonna pop us on there. So let's listen.
Kind of let go the staff at every position. So I don't think GMH is going to downsize the staff any. Just a lot of discussion, but when they action required, they really back.
Right. Turn tail on that one. And we're not talking about something that's really difficult to do. There are literally dozens of industrial kitchens that we have here on Guam that would have been able to see to the dietary needs of the patients in the hospital, and certainly from among the staff over at Guam Memorial Hospital. That stuff is not hard to outsource.
It's not hard to outsource. I think it's better to cut down the cost for the hospital. But the reason I called, last week, they passed Bill 302, for the a kind of amendment for the I think the new law now that signed in for halfway to for what they call the international trained physician, right? Yep. So. First we put an amendment there, 302, just to, because we, as a medical community, number one, we support ITP, the international trained physician. This is a physician that never trained one single day in the United States, right? But because we saw a short physician, we really like to kind of recruit the good, let's say good, G-O-D, good physician from any country come in to help serve our island, because we were really short. But in order to do that, we have to make sure that this physician met the minimum requirement of the U.S. standard, right? Just like if you have a nurse that graduated from school in the Philippines, in order for a nurse to work in the United States or U.S. territory, they really have to pass the NCLEX. You cannot get a license without passing the NCLEX.
I know it's just going to be a little bit before we get on there, but I'm looking at just the way I'm like, I should have a beard when I do these interviews with them, just so we can look cool and see if we could lean in a little bit. Let's see. The microphone's coming from the opposite side. Anyway, they do great stuff. I know it's hard to hear. I actually turned it down. I turned their part down because they're talking about like nursing stuff and all that, which I think they just had another call that they made that's going a little bit long. Here, I'll put it back on.
Without them passing any part of the standard test, we put USMLE, that everyone at the U.S. trained physician or any type of J1 waiver to come in to do U.S. training have to pass all the 3 steps in order to practice anywhere in the United States. But the current law right now, what we see is that they can come in and practice, and they have 3 years to pass the first 2 steps. USMLE is step 1, 2, and 3.
We're gonna lower that down quite a bit while we do that till they are ready for us. But in the meantime, hold on. Let me just say, I'll keep you on, but let me know when you're ready. All right, there we go. I just let them know I turned the volume down to give me a heads up when they're ready. Yeah, but I want to say, jump into the comments while we're waiting for this one. Great to see all of you guys. Chris Tomakani's in the house. Great to see you, my friend, all the way out there from Washington. Dude, I might be seeing you like in a month by heading out there. Connie Park Baza's with us saying, good morning, Eric Mofnas and Piling Gizepmo. He is the man, the myth, the legend. It's great that you're there. Emily, great to see you. She says, shout out to Miss Nikki Villagomez. Happy birthday. That is awesome. Nikki Villagomez is amazing. She's one of the reasons why we actually got a generator. It's such a beautiful story. Anyway, I know we told that one a little bit. They just told us, by the way. They said, hey, they should be off that call here pretty soon. And then going back here. So happy birthday, Nikki Villagomez. Way to go. Happy birthday. How old do you think she is now? I'm not sure. I know you're not allowed to ask. Yeah, and Luta Mariana saying, good morning, Brad and Ray Gibson. They might be just about done with that call. So I'm like, kind of paying attention to it with one eye. You guys, by the way, the comment section that we get from you guys, it's all over the place. We got YouTube, we got Facebook, and then we got the WhatsApp. You guys popping in. Usually the stuff at WhatsApp, I can't say. Yeah, they're still talking about medical stuff. Oh, it's awesome. They're like, hey, this wasn't planned. Sorry. Okay, it happens. What are you going to do? I just get too excited because I think this is awesome. Let's see if there's wrapping it up.
The bill passed the legislature, so nothing more to be done about it other than to lobby the governor's office and see if you can get her to veto it.
Yeah, this is where
she's always telling everybody she's a nurse.
Yeah, this is where the amendment that Senate Supreme Marianas put it together, and that amendment ensures the safety to public, right? That amendment requires them to pass a test in order to even begin to practice, and it's not to disallow them to come in. It doesn't make any harder than for me to practice, right? But I have to pass the test. Everyone will have to test. So the amendment will ensure that all this physician, the ITP, need to pass the test before they pass it. I really encourage the governor and let the amendment pass into a law, so kind of correct the current law right now. Current law right now is so dangerous for people who want, because I say the nurse cannot practice without passing NCLEX, and the physician cannot practice without passing the basic USMLE test. Yeah, that's so simple. So really, that's one thing I
head scratcher. I didn't think that was going to pass. I thought it was, but apparently the so-called special interests weren't heard.
Well, it's all
when
about
they started calling you guys special interests. That's when I decided, okay, it's maybe this is not this is something that doesn't need to become a law. Now it's halfway there. Interesting call.
Yeah, it's all about optics, right? You just want to feel that people see that you passed this because you care. No, you really, it's optics. When you pass this thing to become a law without a test, then you really hurt your people. So I encourage the governor and accept the amendment that Senator Tula just passed with a 9 votes, because I know she can veto because it's only 10 or 11. But I really recommend going to just let the amendment pass and put them to law to correct the mistake in the current law right now.
Unfortunately, we're going to have to wait until you become elected at the legislature in order to make, I think, some of the more significant changes that we'd like to see in healthcare.
We're going to try, Ray. We're going to try, Ray. Yeah, it's all my patience. So,
keep it up.
Yeah, thank you, Ray. Welcome back.
It's good to be home, and it's good to hear your voice, Doctor. I'll see you soon.
Okay.
Be happy. I'll see if I can send you a copy of the results from St. Luke's as well. 8:22 in the morning on the. No, I send them to everybody. I said Macris gets a copy, Akimoto gets a copy, Dr. Wen gets a copy. Hell, Gemini gets a copy. Come to think of it. Anyway, 8:23 in the morning. I appreciate you holding over the conversation I had with Dr. Wen. It's time for an update. 40-some-odd days after Sinlaku went right over Saipan, right over Tinian, and I'm delighted to hear that we've got visible progress being made. I got from the Guam Power Authority a picture of Cagman, and I think they say it's hot. They've lit it up there. And it's hot in the city again.
It's nighttime over there right now.
Not nighttime there now.
Oh.
Nighttime when they took the picture. Cagman is all lit up now. How you doing there? Brad Rosala is on the line, my friend. How are you?
You call yourself a nurse? No, sorry. I was listening to that. I love the call. Hey, Cagman getting power is amazing. The folks over there, I'll tell you what, it's hard. You think you're almost there. And when you drive around the rest of Saipan, you can almost fool yourself into thinking it's a little bit normal, especially at night, because we've got street lights on and all of that other stuff. But in the village of Cagman, it's at the very end of the longest feeder that we have out there. And and not to mention, part of that road got washed out at the beginning that they had to rebuild. And so they finally were able to get down there. There's still poles down. There's still wires in some of the roads and stuff like that. But they have been crushing it, getting down there. And look at that. I'll tell you, nobody's happier than the folks in Cagman and the folks who represent them in Precinct 5 that stuff is on there. So it's really good.
I think it was Glenn Hunter, who I also follow on social media, expressing his satisfaction that his neighbor, apparently the next door neighbor's house is lit up. He's got electricity, but over at Glenn's place, they haven't put the wire in yet.
I'm part of that Glenn Club, so I am Club Glenn. It's a new place to go to. It's got all the rage. Come on down. So, but I have the power lines right in front of my house. It's hot. It's ready to go. My house, I guess not so much. All our weatherhead, our box, everything's good to go. But on our pole, you got the transformer, and then it's the accessories. Not loving it. So, and the guys, I'll tell you what, the guys from GPA have been out there. I've seen them. I saw them at the store. They're like, hey, we'll check it out. I'm like, oh, yeah, okay, sounds great. Nice. And so they did, and they're like, might need a little bit of work. I'm like, hey, at least you came by. I'm like, I didn't even ask. They're like, in fact, let me tell you how this happened, Ray. This is the coolest story. Just randomly at night, I saw these guys at the store. They weren't in there when I pulled in. When I came out, I saw the trucks. I'm like, oh. But anyway, I'm like, it's weird that these guys are at this store at this time. Well, they were just finishing up in the Capitol Hill area. And I could see them in the line. They're like, no, go ahead. Wait, I'm like, oh, man, hey, you guys are doing great stuff. I showed them some photos when they were in our area. Great shots, too, of them working. And I told them what was going on. They're like, "Hey, give me your number. We're gonna come up there this week and check it out." I'm like, "Come on." They're like, "Yeah, come on. We're gonna do it."
Really?
So they did, and so he's like, "Yeah." We exchanged numbers. They came up and took a look, and I'm like, "Hey, just the fact that they offered and then came back and then took a look at it, and they said that it needs some love, but they'll see what they could do like in the next week or so. So because they're already going to be going through that area, so
Yeah.
that is, you don't get that kind of, like, first of all, I'm sure they're getting accosted by everybody. Hey, Fat, come to my house, like all that kind of stuff everywhere. But like,
Send the power and on the light at my house.
yeah, exactly. But I did not, so I don't want to be that guy. But that they offered, and then they came by and just took a look, and they would have, but they just didn't have the stuff. So maybe they'll come back. I mean, eventually they will. But just the fact that they
know
did
what
that.
they need. So they did a little bit of a reconnoiter. They know what they need to get that circuit back online. And yeah, I think the number is 55 guys that are up there, and a whole bunch of the equipment and everything that they need. I was delighted to hear that we're barging up a bunch of concrete poles. You start making the investment in the concrete poles, buddy, and that's going to pay off in a whole lot faster. A whole lot less downtime in the next big storm. How are you doing with things like food and water and distribution of the goodies that are still coming in by the pallet load and by the van load from Guam?
Yeah, we are doing pretty good. The hardest thing is most of the stuff's here. It's not like we don't have stuff. Now we're in a whole different phase of this, right? Now it's trying to get over the hump and get to the normal life. But right now, like when you go to the store, you're not finding all the vegetables and stuff like that because the local farms were totally wiped out, like completely down to the dirt. Like you're not going to find those radishes. You're not going to find the cucumbers. You're not going to find the local lettuce or any of the local fruits. Man, at my house, right, I have a great mango tree. Nothing. I got a great avocado tree. Nothing. One of them's done, period. I got bananas. I got oranges. I got mountain apples. We've got, a couple doors down, we got pineapple. All of them are gone. I'm just glad that the leaves are starting to come back. But this is like May. This is mango time. There's no mangoes. And, it's not like one village got hit harder than the other. The entire island is stripped of everything. There are guys, a good story about the trees being down, I guess, is that there's a big contract that was awarded. There's like 100 guys who just got hired to cut down trees. They're getting paid like $1,700 a week to cut trees and stack these things up and all this other stuff. It's awesome because at a time when our economy is not all that great, and they're talking about either furloughs or they're talking about like 50% hour cuts and all that stuff. They got guys who are making a lot of money cutting up these trees that are down, and I'm telling you, they're all of them. I mean, you've been up north, you've seen Marpy before. We're talking trees these are not young trees. These are trees that have roots that are deep and long. They're all over the place, sprawling, and they're all knocked down. The biggest
Bro,
of them.
You got to get these guys. The next job for them is to figure out how to make. I mean, not figure it out. People have been making charcoal since the beginning of time. But there's got to be a way that you can take all of that wood that's been cut and stacked up and everything. Take all of that, turn it, open up some kind of a factory, and make charcoal out of it.
Yeah.
You can sell it. You can sell it. The Rhoda, they used to have one a long time ago. There used to be someplace up in Rhoda. It might be Tinian, but I think it was Rhoda. And then you could barge that. They barged it down to Guam and sold a ton of it.
Wow. Well, that sounds like a great plan because we do have the charcoal guys here who make their own charcoal, like the companies here. And it's the less expensive of the ones that you're going to get in the store too. So it's kind of cool. We're big fans of local charcoal.
There was a guy that was doing it here. I think he got to run in with the fire department on it, but we'll save that for another day. There was some, and I'm not sure if you're doing your broadcast right now while we're talking.
We are,
but you okay? Great, fantastic. It would be on your TV show, but also the office that you are studioing out of. There was some big news that they were talking about last week. IT&E has got a deal working with the government. This is going to bring some jobs into the community as well. And I think you guys have beat us to the punch on being able to go and lay out some fiber to everybody's house.
Well, yes, it was a massive deal. So, I mean, we could walk you through the whole thing, but I mean, the massive deal is that it finally got signed. So, what they wanted to do, the Broadband Policy Development Office, they wanted to have a storm resilient network. They wanted it to all be buried, not pole to pole and all that other stuff.
Correct.
And so they had 3 companies that put in bids. IT&E had the lowest of the 3, funny enough. But they ended up getting it and going all fiber. But then there was a protest by a company that likes to do the pole-to-pole stuff. And they said, hey, this is resilient. We can do it for like a 1.7 million. And they're like, yeah, but so could Brad if he wanted to. So they ended up going with the one that was buried. So then they finally got past all the protests and everything like that. And they got it signed, so now they can move forward with it. So there's going to be, it's a 4-year project, and it was 4 years from when it got signed, so they can't twiddle their thumbs. They got to get it all done by the end of it, or they lose out completely. So, that's it.
So I'm wondering how they're going to, because I thought we got the same offer from the federal government as well. I'm not sure where they are in that, but maybe the next time Dave Gibson is in the studio, I'll ask him about that, because he was the guy in all of the pictures representing IT&E up in Saipan.
Yeah, well, it's exciting for us here because this storm is what really tipped the balance on it, because what they were talking about doing, they were entertaining that protest for a while. Then when that storm hit, the governor's like, no.
Yeah, we're going to bury this. We're going underground.
Yep. And that's it. By the way, so power poles and charcoal, those are new businesses that we're going to get into, Ray.
You'll love it. You'll love it. The only issue I have with power poles, and apparently I've opened up a can of disagreement between me and a couple of folks over at GPA, is that we need to put some barriers and barricades around them. I like K-rails because K-rails are designed to nudge the car back on the road. You're still going to get yourself hit. You're still going to dent the panel on the car, but it might prevent you from getting foot long deep into a pole. So maybe a few more of those barriers and K-rails up in Saipan. You're going to need to put out the warning to the guys, because this ain't going to be like the old wooden ones. Wooden ones, you get going fast enough and you got enough speed under you, there's a pretty good possibility that they'll break away and not cause a fatality. But these concrete poles, extremely unforgiving.
On the other side of the Mississippi, they're called W rails.
Is it?
No, it's the radio thing.
That's right.
So, there you go. I even got the wah-wah from Real Jones. That's the best.
But next time you come to Guam, take a look at the concrete poles and how many altars there are, and little crosses that are adjacent to these poles. There's that many of them that have taken lives around here. In fact, the one that right in front of my house has taken a life. 8:34 in the morning. I'm glad to hear that things are recovering, not as fast, I'm sure, as you and the kids might like to see, but things are working. The GPA guys are going to be finished before too much longer. Hand the keys back to your CCU guys, and before too much longer, things still feel a little bit normal. Do you get those little twinges of anxiety when you look at your weather apps and they're talking about new invests in the area?
So not yet. Because we got that before, and then they get there was the other one. There's a lot of Chicken Littles out there too, right? So the people who show you the one that's like 8 days out on a different app, and it's only one of the models, it's like, the end of the world. Okay, look, I can't invest into that right yet. But with this one, I can't. I literally can only just switch into, okay, if it's coming, then we put up some boards, and then that's right. Because right now, it's still everywhere. Everything is everywhere. And doom and gloom's not going to be helping me. So
no point to the fretting. I hear what you're saying. I hear it completely. Well, as usual, we'll leave you with the offer. If there's anything you need from down here, let me know about it, and somebody will get themselves in gear and find a way to get it to you.
Yeah. Hey, real quick, just one real nice thing. I always got a real quick thing when you're trying to get off, but either way. But this is something, we got this from Tom Alger. His wife works for GPA, and she's working with John Duenas. They sent this up. They got here on April 25th. They've been here the whole time, and they're going to be here till it's done. She's been here through her birthday. They've been here over a month, and they're doing it. So they sent it up saying, hey, I think these two deserve some recognition for sacrificing time away from their families, and I agree with them. So Nanette Guerrero Alger and John Duenas, thank you for being here for the past month for GPA and helping putting us back together.
Feels like family, doesn't it?
It does. It does. It's great.
There it is. Brad Masala from the beautiful village of Saipan and Tinian up in the NMI, and all of those stories there. But for the grace of God, go us. But it's nice to see that you folks are still handling it with a great deal of resilience and your own personal grace and strength. Keep it up, buddy.
Yeah, you too. Thanks. Always great to hear you guys.
Back at you. Brad Masala.
All right, that was our call with the good folks over there at The Point Radio. Good news. We've got a guest who's on her way in right now, so we're going to take a real quick break. So don't go anywhere. We got more stuff coming your way. If you've got some interesting stuff for us, let us know. But first, we're taking a quick break.
Shiny smiles all around, where happiness is found. It's the little things that make it true. Shiny smiles start with
They're friends and neighbors, sons, fathers. They're little league coaches and veterans. They're people who love this country. These are Immigration and Customs Enforcement officers. They are removing violent criminals from our streets and neighborhoods. It's dangerous and difficult work. But ICE has one mission: to make America a safer place to live. And that's what they're doing. This is law enforcement. This is ICE.
Sports Update.
Are you ready for the roster reveal? The members of the U.S. men's national soccer team roster for the upcoming FIFA World Cup will be announced Tuesday at South Street Seaport in New York City. Fox Sports soccer analyst Alexei Lalas telling Fox and Friends this is quite the moment for the players chosen to wear the red, white, and blue.
They grow up watching the World Cup, and in that moment, even for a player like, for example, Christian Pulisic, who's going to be on the team, to know that you are going to not just represent your country at a World Cup, because there's nothing better than a World Cup except for one thing, a home World Cup. There is something special.
Of course, Lalas himself, well, he was a member of Team USA for the 1994 FIFA World Cup. The U.S. men's national team is in Group D, along with Paraguay, Australia, and Turkey. Now, that roster reveal event that I mentioned for fans in New York City, it is free and open to all. But if you can't make it to the Big Apple, the roster reveal, it'll be televised on Fox from 3 to 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Of course, you can catch every single minute of World Cup action on Fox properties from June 11th to July 19th. Check your local listings. And you can download the Fox Sports Podcast. Head over to Apple, Spotify, or frankly, wherever you go to download your favorite podcasts. I'm Frank Lanza.
Get more on the Fox Sports app and foxsports.com.
If you see something, say something, and stay anonymous. Call Crime Stoppers at 234-7272 or submit a tip online at nmicrimestoppers.com. No names, no caller ID, no recordings, just your info. And if your tip leads to an arrest, you could earn up to $1,000 in cash. Your tips have helped take hundreds of criminals off the streets in the NMI. It works because of you. Crime Stoppers, we want your information, not your name. PHI is your local pharmacy serving customers in Cagman, Garapan, and Dandan since 1996. Shop PHI Pharmacy for all your prescriptions, and we even offer a large line of multivitamin supplements. Our Dandan location is open weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 4 on weekends. Or visit our Garapan and Cagman locations weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 1 on Saturdays. Check us out online at phipharmacy.com or follow us on Facebook. PHI is a locally owned independent community Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
And by sunrise, she's marching with a sign in the air. Hashtags flying everywhere. Paint on her jacket, fire in her eyes. Truth gets louder when the camera's live. She says she's saving the world in 4K live. Different stage when it's neon nights. By day she's preaching revolution plans. By night she's paying bills with OnlyFans. Cape in the closet, heels in her hand. Fighting the system and the algorithm. Having only friends ain't part of the plan. She funds the movement with OnlyFans.
All right, good morning, CNMI. It is 8:43 in the morning here on Tuesday, May 26th. And man, oh man, we got a lot going on out here. That's no doubt about it. There's always stuff happening out here in the Marianas. And, today is no different. Today is the big opening of the Saipan Small Business, it's not Saipan, the U.S. Small Business Administration opening the Business Recovery Center at the Marianas Business Plaza at the Saipan Chamber of Commerce. That's happening today. 9 o'clock is when it opens. They're going to be open Monday through Friday, not yesterday, but Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. You can walk in, you can make appointments, you can schedule in advance, whatever you want to do, you can do it. They're on the second floor in Suite 201A over there. You just go upstairs and you can't miss them. Go upstairs, take a left, and they're there. There's going to be a sign. They have the big flyers and all that stuff. You can't miss it. Businesses and nonprofits, you can borrow up to $2 million in physical disaster loans to repair or replace damaged real estate machinery, equipment, inventory, and other business assets. All kinds of stuff. Economic Injury Disaster Loan Program is also available to small businesses, small agricultural co-ops, and private nonprofits, including faith-based organizations with financial losses tied to the storm. Now, all this funding can cover your working capital, like payroll, fixed debts, accounts payable, and they're available even if the business is sustained no physical damage. Ooh, like us. That's a good thing. Saipan business, the small business, my gosh, Saipan, that part, every time I see an S, I always just default to Saipan. Small Business Administration does not provide disaster loans to agricultural producers, farmers, or ranchers, except for small aquaculture enterprises. All right, well, there you go. We're going to hear more about those details coming up in just a few minutes. In the meantime, though, there's other stuff that's happening, and there was a senator, Karina McGuffney. She's the Senate Vice President. And she wrote a letter to DPL saying, hey, let's get to work on these land lease applications. And, because we need it. We need some economic movement going on right now. And it's so funny. I was taking someone around, showing them up north, and they saw Marianas Resort. They're like, what is going on? You mean all that's open? They can't just rent those out like apartments or something? Like, yeah, it's totally shuttered. All those bungalows, the hotel room, closed. And it's been going on for a long time. It is probably a big failure that's going on. I put a lot of the fault on this in the Senate. And I know they're like, oh, you bastard. I'm sorry. But like, you had an opportunity to do something about it and you didn't. But I understand why they would say no, right? So they said no to the Elan folks. And they said, hey, why are you going to give it to Elan? They already got 3 other properties and they're closing stuff down. Well, because they'll maintain it maybe and take care of it better than what Public Lands has been doing with it since the whole IPI fiasco debacle. Since Imperial Pacific International said that they tried to muscle their way into that lease. Oh, we'll just take care of it for a year. And then, all of it, basically, the folks who are running Public Lands then kind of kicked them out, is essentially what happened. They should have kept the company that was there because they had been there for 40 years and they had a pool and they had a golf course and they had a property and it was maintained and they got business. And when they have that kind of business, they're not just begging MVA to do the work of the marketing. They're out there doing it. Instead, we got nothing. And then we got activist-y types saying, oh, we don't need another hotel. We don't need another golf course. Let's just make it ours. Give back to the people. Yeah, these socialist types, like, come on, guys. Thank you for your idea. Thank you for your thought process. But come on, man. We're going to make it a co-op. We're all going to. No. All that stuff fails every single time. There's not one successful one in the history of the world. It's never happened. Anyway, so now it says, this is a letter from our Senate Vice President, Karina McGuffney, saying, hey, we need to get to this. Their Senate, or Secretary Sixto. That's what they're saying. So this is the letter. And we'll read this out to you a little bit. But this is the letter itself. Actually, you know what? I've got the letter. I don't have to just put it here. So let's, boom. It should pop up right there. And we'll zoom in on it so you can see the whole thing. You don't just have to watch it. You can, by the way, you can see this for yourself on our website, nminewsservice.com. But this is it. Hey, get on these leases. Sincerely, Karina. It says, so here it is. I write respectfully, yet urgently, to inquire about the status of all pending public land lease applications currently under review by DPL. Our Commonwealth is presently facing one of the most economically fragile periods in recent history. The aftermath of Super Typhoon Sinlaku has significantly weakened economic activity across the CNMI, disrupted businesses, strained household finances, and further destabilized an already vulnerable economy. At the same time, the Commonwealth government continues to face severe fiscal challenges as reflected in the governor's proposed fiscal budget for 2027, which includes the implementation of a 20-hour work week for government employees due to ongoing revenue shortfalls and financial constraints. I'm not looking forward to that. Compounding these hardships is the recent FAC increase by the Commonwealth Utilities Corporation, which reportedly resulted in an increase of approximately 100%. It's going to go higher, by the way. This substantial rise in utility costs will inevitably increase the cost of living for residents, increase operational expenses for businesses, discourage commercial living for residents, commercial expansion, and place additional financial pressure on families already struggling to recover from the economic impacts of the typhoon and the broader economic downturn. Collectively, these developments paint a deeply concerning picture for the Commonwealth's current economic condition. Reduced government spending power, rising utility costs, weakened consumer activity, limited private investment, and declining business confidence all contribute to prolonging the current economic recession and deepening the financial hardship experienced throughout the CNMI. At a time when the Commonwealth desperately needs new economic activity, capital investment, and revenue generation, the CNMI cannot afford unnecessary delays in moving forward with public land leases that have already satisfied all legal, regulatory, and administrative requirements. These industries and investors are ready and willing to move forward with projects that would inject substantial new capital into the local economy. These projects have the potential to create entirely new economic ecosystems within the Commonwealth, generating construction activity, creating new employment opportunities, increasing demand for local services and suppliers, stimulating secondary business growth, and expanding the government's long-term revenue base through taxes, fees, and economic activity. The reality is simple. Without new industries and private sector investment, the CNMI's economic recovery will continue to stall. Every delay in processing and approving qualified land leases delays new revenue generation for the Commonwealth, new job opportunities for residents, new business activity and economic circulation, new consumer spending within the local economy, and the broader economic recovery that our people desperately need. The government ultimately depends on a functioning and productive private sector to generate the revenues necessary to sustain government operations, public services, and critical programs. Without economic growth and investment, the government's ability to fund education, healthcare, public safety, infrastructure, and social services will continue to deteriorate. Accordingly, I respectfully urge DPL to prioritize and expedite action on pending land lease applications that are ready for approval and capable of moving forward immediately. Timely action is not merely an administrative matter. It is directly tied to the Commonwealth's economic survival, fiscal recovery, workforce stability, and long-term sustainability. The CNMI cannot afford prolonged inaction while viable economic opportunities remain stalled. The Commonwealth urgently needs investment, economic activity, and revenue generation now more than ever. I respectfully request an update regarding the status of the pending lease applications currently under review, including anticipated timelines for action and any outstanding issues that may be preventing final disposition. Thank you for your attention. I mean, that's the whole thing. So the question is, what's going on? And are there specifics involved in this one? Are there specific items in there? Hold on a second. Let's see. Oh, I love this question. It says, does this mean that the government is finally going to have money to pay CUC? Well, you can only hope. You can only hope. There's only so many things you can be excited about. That would be one thing we would hope for. But that's it. I mean, that's really, hold on one second. Yeah, that's it. I think let's just hang it on that one. But hold on one second. By the way, I just sent the message, and I don't know how many times have you done this. You send the message so quickly, like you're mid-conversation, and you're like, oh, crap, I didn't say good morning. Let me start with this. Here's the whole thing. Enter. Good morning. Yeah. All right. Well, I'll tell you what, our guest is here. So what we're going to do, we're going to take a very quick break. We're going to get her all set up and get her on the screen with you, and we'll go from there. But this thing here, this letter is something. I mean, like, I'm curious, what is hanging? What could possibly be waiting in the wings that might have prompted this letter? Of course, there's all kinds of stuff that you want to get done, but is there something that we're waiting on? Like, in particular, are you aware of one? Well, we're going to find out. I know we've heard so much about opportunities. In fact, I remember when Secretary Sixto was telling us in a meeting, there was someone who's talking about $1 billion investment, and I'm like, what? What industry is looking to invest $1 billion here? I'm all for it, but what is it? Who? What? Where? Remember we heard about this car stuff? Ooh, what's going on with that? Data centers. What is it? What are we waiting on? All right, well, What are we waiting on? Indeed, that's what we're hearing about. All right, well, we're going to take a real quick break. Don't worry. We'll make it a news update because we do have a new news update. I know. All right. No, we're not talking about you, Capileo. Calm down. All right, we'll be here's the latest from the Associated Press. We'll get you more right after this.
AP News, I'm Paya Panjwani. AP correspondent Ed Donahue reports on the status of talks with Iran.
Secretary of State Marco Rubio says details are still being worked out to end the war with Iran. Speaking from India, Rubio says the sides are working on an outline.
Suffice it to say that some progress has been made, significant progress, although not final progress has been made.
Regional officials say the deal would gradually reopen the Strait of Hormuz and see the U.S. blockade of Iranian ports end. Iran would give up its stockpile of highly enriched uranium.
That will require full Iranian acceptance and then compliance, and it will require some future work on negotiating the details.
Ed Donahue, Washington.
In a speech at Arlington National Cemetery, President Donald Trump remarks on the significance of Memorial Day.
Before we hail the founding, we honor the fallen. Before we celebrate the triumph, we pay the tribute. Before we crown the victory, we count the cost. Today we are reminded that there could be no 4th of July without America's armed forces, and there could be no Independence Day without Memorial Day.
The risk of a catastrophic explosion has been eliminated at a chemical tank in California. AP correspondent Julie Walker.
For days, officials in Southern California were warning of a possible catastrophic explosion from a damaged chemical tank. Now they say that risk is over. TJ McGovern, interim chief, Orange County Fire Authority.
We are happy to report that the threat of a BLEVE is now off the table.
A BLEVE, a boiling liquid expanding vapor explosion. Orange County Fire Authority's Craig Covey says teams were able to go in overnight to confirm it's off the table because of a crack in the tank.
We have verified that it's there and the tank has released its pressure. Additionally to that, the temperature has been stabilized and actually reducing.
50,000 residents in and around Garden Grove remain under evacuation. I'm Julie Walker.
This is AP News. AP correspondent Rika Ann Garcia reports on a growing Ebola outbreak in Congo.
Ugandan health authorities reported 2 new Ebola cases, bringing the number of infections to around 7. All the cases are linked to the outbreak in Congo, which appears to have started several days or weeks before Congolese authorities declared the outbreak recently. A health worker spoke to the AP about the awareness campaign that they've been conducting in local communities. We've come to tell the people of Bibo Kolomani that the disease is here. Unfortunately, we're facing resistance and some people want to stone us, but we're not going to give up. We're continuing to tell them that the disease is here. The outbreak in Congo is worrisome. Authorities there said suspected Ebola cases have now passed 900 in the east of the country. The outbreak is marked by anger and frustration among locals, including some who have been attacking treatment centers. I'm Rika Ann Garcia.
I'm Haya Panjwani, AP News.
After super typhoons in Laku, recovery isn't just about rebuilding homes and clearing debris. It's about taking care of each other. It's normal to feel stress, fear, or sadness during recovery. Healing isn't a straight path. Take it one day at a time. Acknowledge your feelings. Stay connected with family and neighbors. Build small daily routines. And if it gets overwhelming, reach out. Seeking support is a sign of strength. NM Posse's PIME program is here for CNMI residents. Call 670-235-7273 or 670-789-6021 or visit nmposse.org. Together we rebuild, and together we heal. You are stronger than the storm. Message from NM Posse's PIME program, paid for by the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration.
If you see something, say something, and stay anonymous. Call Crime Stoppers at 234-7272 or submit a tip online at nmicrimestoppers.com. No names, no caller ID, no recordings, just your info. And if your tip leads to an arrest, you could earn up to $1,000 in cash. Your tips have helped take hundreds of criminals off the streets in the NMI. It works because of you. Crime Stoppers, we want your information, not your name. PHI is your local pharmacy serving customers in Cagman, Garapan, and Dandan since 1996. Shop PHI Pharmacy for all your prescriptions, and we even offer a large line of multivitamin supplements. Our Dandan location is open weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 4 on weekends. Or visit our Garapan and Cagman locations weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 1 on Saturdays. Check us out online at phipharmacy.com or follow us on Facebook. PHI is a locally owned independent community Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
Welcome back, Marianas. It is 9:01. That's right. We are in overtime, but that's the best kind of way to get the week started. It is 9:01 here on the day after Memorial Day. If you're watching there from the mainland, it is still full-on Memorial Day for you guys and going through all of the end of the day activities. I'm guessing you guys are wrapping up over there on the West Coast, but at least for here, we are past that and we're looking at what's happening next after the typhoon and after everything. And on that note, we've got the face of what happens after the typhoon. Oh, hey. That's awesome. We have the face of what's happening next with the typhoon. Come on in. We have Renata Mason. She's from the Small Business Administration. She's going to help get you guys set up. She told me personally that she's going to make sure that you're good to go. That's accurate, do you think?
That is accurate, yes.
All right, this is good.
Yes.
All right, well, we've got a lot to talk about today because today there's exciting news that the Business Recovery Center is opening today, like 2 minutes ago.
That is absolutely correct. Right on time. Like 2 minutes ago, the Small Business Administration, we opened up a Business Recovery Center. Just want to say thank you to the Saipan Chamber of Commerce. This is where our location is going to be. We are operating effective today, 9 a.m., and we'll be operating ongoing Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. What we have done is we've set up a location so that the businesses and the nonprofits in the area can come and seek assistance. We completely understand how their schedules can be a little bit different, can be a little bit busy. The Survivor Recovery Center is still open and operating. However, it allows businesses and nonprofits the opportunity to go to a location where they may not have to necessarily wait and have those same waiting times and still get the assistance needed. I will say, Brad, that we have recently approved over $3.8 million in loan funding.
Wow.
99% of that has gone to homeowners and renters, right? So there's still 1% that was for the businesses. And so, again, we're pushing the message to the businesses that, hey, the assistance is also still available to you all. From both the physical standpoint, if you've had any physical damage, whether it be to your real estate or to machinery, equipment, inventory, but also the economic injury, which is one of the most important things. Even as a business, if you have not received any physical damage, but you've had to close operations, it doesn't matter if you close for a day or even hours. Most businesses are still just recently running because of power, water, and other reasons. But that economic injury can really assist those businesses, help them to continue their operations, their normal operating expenses, be it payroll, be it healthcare benefits. The small businesses, it's what keeps the community going, right? They're the ones that employ the residents on the island, and so we understand the importance of those businesses having the opportunity to continue to operate, continue to pay your employees if need be, and so that's where the economic injury disaster loans come in at. And again, just a reminder on what that looks like for anyone is for nonprofits, who is seeking assistance, 3.625% interest rate for businesses starting at 4%, and we do up to 30-year loan terms and up to $2 million. So again, we're not in competition with any other financial institute. These funds that we provide are completely from the Department of Treasury. The application processes are different from bank applications, obviously, because these are loans based on a need and not necessarily a want. But what we do want is for people to continue to come out and seek the assistance, have access to the resources that are available so that they can continue to operate.
I wonder, you mentioned that 99% plus have been personal instead of business stuff. But do you think part of that, or have you experienced that part of that is because people are trying to get themselves back together like right after a storm, and then do businesses come like kind of right after?
Absolutely, absolutely. I do feel that, and of course, being that this is, most people that are business operators are also living on the island. So I know the first thing is where you are primarily. Your home is the most important thing to secure and make sure that that's safe and have things up and running. Which is one of the reasons why we do for the economic injury loan, the deadline is pushed further out, right? So that deadline is not until January 25th of next year, because for one, mentally people have to get themselves together, right? I think that's a big piece that some people forget. For others is, in some instances, this is a first time situation that's happening. For some, it's the second or third. So even that can be a heavy mental thing on someone, right? So to be able to first gather yourself and then have to look at, hey, my home and my business got impacted. The first thing is to make sure that your home is up and running. So I think that's a big thing. And then now that I have this piece going, let me now focus on my business. And so again, knowing that we want to make sure that we are giving those that are needing that assistance, that time to go through those processes.
Speaking of personal side, somebody sent the message. It's like, can I ask, I got denied for FEMA for vehicle damage. Can I go through SBA?
Great question. Yes, you can come through SBA. The Small Business Administration, we do provide for that. Automobiles fall under our personal property, and so we cover up to $100,000 for personal property, including the automobiles. So for that's the interest rate starting at the 2.875%. Again, don't know what the interest rates are for cars at the moment, but I don't think they're 2.875%.
No. So that's great. Now how difficult is it to get in to see you guys to talk about this kind of stuff?
Not difficult at all. We are spread out. We have literally been making it, we've been putting ourselves in a position to make it accessible for those on the island. As I mentioned, we have the Survivor Recovery Center. The Business Recovery Center is opening today. And not to bombard the mayor's office, but we do have 2 individuals there too. It's kind of like they're assisting too for those that may have submitted applications and they've run into a problem or run into a wall and they need additional assistance, but not necessarily wanting to have to wait in the lines at the Survivor Recovery Center. So we've been trying to position our representatives in a way that allows anyone that needs the assistance to get it.
Wow, that's great. Yeah, I was looking at this, like walk-ins are welcome. You can make appointments and all that stuff, but if they want to make an appointment, how do they do that?
Yes, so if they want to make an appointment, they would just go to sba.gov. If you /disaster, there's going to be an area that has like 4 appointments. So you'll be able to click on that. You can schedule an appointment. And again, it's not required, but definitely if you're one of those individuals who has a busy schedule, or even if transportation may be limited for you, you can definitely schedule an appointment to see one of our representatives.
That's great. And, I've actually got it on the screen, so it's pretty easy. So it's easy to find. So sba.gov/disaster is what you were saying. And it automatically takes you to the funding programs, disaster assistance, and all that. Mm-hmm. And they've got all these things on here. They've got things on here that says Hawaii severe storms, Alaska floods, California wildfires, Hurricane Helene. But I don't see Sinlaku on here.
Yeah, so what you'll do is keep going.
Okay.
All right, so I'm trying to see from my angle.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Totally not at all angled for you.
No, right. Okay, so if you see that, if you click on, go back down, I'm sorry. No, I'm scrolling, I mean this way. Keep going, keep going.
Okay.
Keep going.
Yep.
Okay, pause. You see where it says you must be located in a declared disaster area?
Yep, you just
if you click on
it.
that, we're navigating through you all.
Yeah, everyone's watching it too.
Oh, okay. All right, so select the location of your property. So you have 1 or 2 options. You can select the location of your property, or you can view all disaster declarations, which to me, honestly, it's a lot because it's literally everyone. So do you want to do that? You could if you want, but you can also just enter in the area that you were impacted, your impacted area, and it'll pull up. So
hey, we're listed in the top 4, so we're big.
Yeah, so you can click on that. Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Yeah. And then if you look to the far left, down at the bottom where it says the 5 documents, that'll give you like our fact sheet. It gives our press release. So it'll also see what information, if there's any latest, or if, you can review there. And then it tells you your primary counties there. So you'll see I'm within one of those municipalities. So obviously I can apply for the assistance. And then it breaks down your deadlines for each one.
Yeah, in fact, this is really easy. It says, how about if the applicants are overextended because of the reduction of the hours of the government? I'm not sure.
Say that again, I'm sorry.
I'm just looking at the question that came in and said, how about if the applicants are overextended because of the reduction of hours? Oh, meaning like the, maybe, I'm guessing financially, like what if they're out over their skis for like, all of a sudden we're getting our hours reduced. I don't think that counts as the disaster declaration stuff, right?
Right, not on our side. That would probably be something, and again, I know that's not my area, so I would check to see if there is the disaster unemployment or something like that you can probably check with the local government to see if there's something for that. But our side is specific to on when it comes to like the economic injury is more so for the employer to be able to continue paying the employees.
Oh, by the way, so, you were mentioning, this is interesting. So there was, that question that came in asking about the vehicle. It says, select your property type. There's home and business. So if it's
home, it falls under home.
There you go. So there you go. There's your answer. So click on home and keep going down that route.
Yes.
That's basically personal.
Yeah, all your personal. So I say for under the you apply under the home loan, and for personal property, I say anything outside the home, obviously the vehicle, but anything that if you were to take your home, flip it over, shake it, anything that falls out falls under the 100,000 that we can cover up to. And again, including the automobiles. For the home itself, obviously, the up to 500,000 for the real estate repairs, including the outside kitchens, which I've learned about since I've been here on the island.
Oh yeah, dirty kitchens are the best.
Dirty kitchens. Oh my gosh, I don't know. I'm like, why did my family not ever think about that? I wouldn't smell like fried chicken when we cooked at home, right? So, but that's also included in it. And so that for the real estate portion can be not only just a structural home itself, again, the outside kitchen, but even landscaping, debris removal. Things like that falls under the home recovery repair. But the other side of it too is the mitigation, the hazard mitigation, which is something that I push heavy for anyone who's repairing their home. You can also look at concrete roofs, the shutters on the windows. I'm learning things that the island, that the individuals on the island use to help build their home, to make it more, to build it stronger, so more resilient. And so things like that, the funding can be used also for. And so aside from the 500,000 maximum for real estate repair and rebuild, that mitigation is not even included in that 500,000. You can get outside of that 500,000 for mitigation. So it's an additional 20% on top of whatever your verified losses are for your real estate. So you can literally end up, I know people, the numbers like, I don't want that much money. 500,000 is a lot. You could actually end up with up to 1 million when it comes to the home itself. Again, our loans aren't required. You're not required and obligated to take the full amount that you're approved for. You would take what you need, but you also have the opportunity to request an increase up to 2 years from the date of your agreement. So if you get approved for a higher amount and you're like, you know what, I don't want to deal with that right now. That's a lot of money. I prefer staying in this amount of my monthly payment. You start to build, rebuild, and then if you come back and say, you know what, I do want to add, we can add to that. So
that's great. That's really great news. The ability for folks to be able to just try to recover throughout this whole thing is going to be big, but you guys are here for them. So now if there's no, it's just if you get there between 9 and 5, you don't have to have an appointment necessarily set up. You could just show up.
You just show up. I will encourage though, if you're one that kind of is a late starter and you want to come towards the end of the day, yeah, we operate 9 to 5, but the best thing would be to consider yourself to come like 4:30 being the latest. The application process, it's not a 5-10 minute, 30 minutes, sometimes a little bit longer for the application because they are loan applications. So it's not like, hey, I'm just going to register. You register your profile, but then you also have to submit in the information. You'll need your ID. If you have your social security card, please have that with you. Also, if you have insurance, whether you have received insurance settlement or even if you haven't filed insurance yet, but if you have insurance, bring that information. You can receive the information I've seen out there, and just to set the record straight, you can receive all funding. You can have FEMA, you can have your insurance, and you can still get SBA. What happens is what you cannot do is you cannot duplicate those benefits. SBA and your insurance can't pay you for your roof. Right? If your insurance pays you completely and fully for your roof, SBA will not pay you for your roof. If your insurance only pays 10% of your roof and you still have 90% needed, SBA will cover that 90%. So we come in and help you fall short wherever you fall short from, whether it's from FEMA and you still need more. If you have insurance and you still need more. If you didn't get anything from FEMA or from your insurance, then hey, SBA is all in.
That's great. Another question came in. What about borrowing to invest in solar panels since we currently still don't have power at the house?
Solar panels would be considered like a mitigation type of situation, which individuals have used for that type of funding in the past. So but you have to apply. You have to apply for the assistance in order for you to tap into the mitigation funding. Then you want to apply for physical damage too. So whatever repairs that you are doing on your home. Again, that mitigation funding can be an additional 20% on top of whatever we've determined your losses are.
Wow, that's great. Let's see, who else? It says financing debt to income ratio is affected by, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Robert, can you rephrase that a little bit? It says financing debt to income ratio is affected by something. It sounds like incomplete, like maybe you got cut off in there somewhere.
I will say, well, while we're waiting on Michael, is it?
Robert.
Robert. Oh, I'm sorry. Where did Michael come from? Sorry, Robert. While we're waiting on Robert to come to, I will say that just to also give information on what we look for. Obviously, because it's a loan, there has to be an ability to repay the funding. So that is something that we do look at. Your ability to repay the loan. Credit is another. It's not perfect credit that we look for. As a matter of fact, we just want to see that there's something, again, because you have to have that ability to repay. If you have little to no credit, that is still fine. We encourage you to apply. One thing that we say is apply, and apply. Not separately applications, but do not get discouraged. Do not listen to what I am seeing on social media. Do not allow other messages to keep you from applying because every person's situation and circumstance is different. You are assigned a loan officer. If you do run into any issues, you can speak with your assigned loan officer to speak with them. And again, because the loans are on a need basis, they are built and created in a way to make them affordable for you. So when you are approved for a loan, you will know before you even sign the paperwork what your monthly payments are going to look like, right? You'll see if I take the minimum amount, this is what it's going to look like. If I take the maximum amount, this is what it's going to look like. So you have an idea already of what I would be looking forward to when it comes to the payment. And there's a year before you have to start making payments. So you have 12 months. The countdown does not begin until you receive your first disbursement. So the moment you receive your first disbursement in your account, that's when the 12-month countdown begins. Wow. And there's no interest accrual during that time. So again, don't allow anyone to discourage you. If you need that, then apply for it. It does not matter the amount of damage that you've had, because I've seen people say, oh, my neighbor got it worse than me, or oh, it was only my side window, or it does not matter the amount of damage or the size of damage. The reality is you were impacted, you need the assistance, and do you want to go to where are you going to get the funding if you don't have it, right? And so why not take advantage of the funding that's here while it's here?
That's great. Let's see, another one says, do we add or new and separate loan? I'm guessing there's different things that they've got on there. Maybe they have another one.
Wait, sorry, do we what? I'm sorry?
It says, do we add or is it a new and separate loan? Maybe do you add to your current loan? What if they still have something from SBA?
Oh, so if you have, I'm just going to assume that they're speaking on prior loans, maybe from a different declaration.
There's still people probably from YouTube because they were like 11 years and stuff like that.
So it would be a completely separate loan. That is a great question. I've been asked, as far as can a prior loan be rolled into a new loan? The answer to that is no. It would be a separate one simply because the interest rates were different, right? So you have a completely different interest rate. And so you'll be I see my hand. I'm trying not to talk so much with my hands.
No.
Well, you'll have a completely different interest rate. It's a completely different loan application. And so it would be a separate loan. Now, if you are a If you are an individual that happens to be a business owner as well, then that will be two separate applications. You will create one profile. So it'll be one profile in the system, but in your one profile, you'll go in and create your home application, go back in there, and then create your business application. For personal property, if you are a homeowner who's applying for personal property and homeowner, it's one application. And so you'll see once you're in your application, it'll show, what type of assistance that you're seeking. You'll check the boxes: home, personal property, that kind of stuff.
That's great. Another one is, what about refinancing? Maybe they have one already. Oh, and then they also, Luther Marianas, we can ask them again. I know you covered this a little bit, but what are the rates? Where are they starting?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you. So for homeowners and renters, interest rate starts at 2.875%. For nonprofits, it is 3.625%. And for businesses, it starts at 4%. And so those are the interest rates across the board. They will remain that interest rate throughout the entire term. So it won't go up, it won't change. Even if the economy goes up and down, your interest rate remains the same throughout your term.
And if you don't remember all this stuff too, this is still, you can find it on nminewsservice.com. We refreshed it, put it as the latest story that's out there right now on the website. So if you go on the website, you can find it really easy. And all those numbers are in there as well. That's based on the release that you guys got to us over the weekend, which was great. All right. What else do we have? Any other questions? Robert says, wow, that is low.
Yes, Robert. That's why listen, Robert, I'm trying to push and encourage people to apply. I know, I will say, to get a little personal, in 2020, my hometown got hit. Lake Charles, Louisiana got hit with they say it was a 5. I mean, they say it was a 4. I say it was a 5, category 5. It practically wiped out most of my hometown. And they called me and pulled me and asked me to work it. And I was like, absolutely, I'm going to work it because it's my home, right? And even then, people were like scared of loans. I don't want a loan. I have to pay it back. Of course you have to pay it back. But if you go to a bank, you have to pay them back. If you get a credit card, you have to pay them back. If you borrow from a friend, I hope you would pay them back, right? So it's like, yes, these are small interest rates. Why not use the opportunity to use someone else's money to help you get back to where you need to be? My parents didn't want a loan when the storm hit, but hey, if it's something needed, if insurance is not enough, if again, FEMA's not enough, then why not apply for the assistance? Again, I tell people it's not even about a want, it's a need. I mean, if you need it, then why not apply?
Yeah, it's a great opportunity for folks, and take advantage while we can. It says, in other words, you might not qualify if you don't have the income to repay for a separate loan. I'm guessing I'm reiterating the person asking a debt to income ratio. Yeah, same thing. I mean, that's the important part. You get the loan based on your ability to repay it. Right, it's not just a grant. You're not just giving money away.
Yes, but and let me say, you're absolutely right. It does have to be repaid. But I will tell you, that's why I encourage anyone that is seeking assistance to go in and talk to representatives, because when applying, there's questions on there that'll ask, like what's your monthly expenses and things like that. But there's also things, and sometimes some people are a little more detailed when it comes to applications. Other people run through them, right? There are parts on the application where it'll ask, like what is your monthly expense, or what is it? And then there's these little dots on the side with question marks, and if most people probably won't click it to open it up, it goes into a little more detail. For one of the questions that we ask, we don't require, if it's anything that you're going to pay off within 10 months, you don't put it on the application, right? Whereas somebody might have something that has a nice balance, but they might get paid off in 6 months. We don't ask for anything, for you to submit anything that'll be paid within 10 months. Why? Because your payments don't start for 12. So why would you include that? But some people do because they don't know not to, right? There's little things on there on those applications that right now you might be in a certain financial situation. The other thing too is for people to know that it is what your income and what your state was prior to the storm. We understand that a storm happens, and when a storm happens, job hours get cut. Your whole job might get cut. Things financially will change for you. And so the question isn't, okay, yeah, your bank account might say $30 right now. I'm just throwing a number out. But prior to the storm, it may have been higher because you weren't financially impacted like you were now. So the questions we ask prior to the storm, because the funding that you're seeking is had this disaster not happened, I would be in a better situation. Had this disaster not happened, I would still be working my full-time hours. Had this disaster not happened, I'd be running my restaurant, right? So everything that we look at is what was your state, what was your financial state prior to the storm, to determine what your eligibility is. And again, it's not, if you bring in an income, it's not going to say, even if your income is the smallest amount of income. We've had people who receive Social Security benefits and things like that have applied, because again, the loan itself is built off of what you are able to pay back.
Mm-hmm.
So
there you go. All right. Well, Luta's saying, hey, I want her to help me. Where's she stationed at? I'm like, that's easy. The Saipan Chamber of Commerce is hosting the Small Business Administration, and they're on the second floor of the old Nauru building. It's Marianas Business Plaza, 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. Now, since you're not from here, this is the best way. How would you describe where you guys are and how to get there?
Oh my gosh. Okay. The round building. Okay. We are at that round building. That's how I would describe, since I'm not from here. That's how I literally found that building. Is that the 360, like the 360 yes. circle thing? That's what I would tell somebody. Go to the 360 circle thing on the second floor. You'll see us as soon as you walk in the front of the building. You'll see the huge sign that says Small Business Administration hanging, and then you'll just follow that. Or we are next to, the other thing is the multi-purpose center is where the other representatives are, mm-hmm. which is, I don't even know how I would describe that one, which is across from a beach. I mean, that's what I know. Across, not too far from diagonal from the tanks.
There you go. That's awesome.
Yeah, diagonal from the tanks.
Yeah, so Marianas Business Plaza, 360 building. See, that's perfect. That's great. That is great. You know, I was at Red Cross to do an interview with some of the folks over there last week, and just one of the guys was he overheard my description of like how to get this somewhere. He's like, you got to be from here, because like that is the local instructions of like, you know, you take a left at that church or something like that. Like there's not a street name mentioned in the whole thing. It's just all like yeah, that's it. So I love to hear what people who aren't from here, how they would describe how you get there. So that was awesome. That was accurate. I could get there based on what you said.
Good.
The round one, the round thing. That's it.
Yes, the round thing. That's it.
All right, so we're going to be wrapping up after this. This is pretty much the overtime section of the show. But you've been here for a little while. I mean, anything you want to share with folks, or any message you want to deliver to any folks?
I will say, first and foremost, I want to thank everyone that has been so kind. This island is absolutely amazing. The people here are amazing. I will say to remain resilient. I know that this is not a first time, and I know, unfortunately, it will not be a last. But I wholeheartedly say that lean on each other, lean on the community, lean on your well-known faces in the community like you, Brad. You all continue to push out the information, and thank those that are out here working tirelessly to put the power back on, the water, and cleaning out the streets. And I will say, I was talking to someone this morning, and I said I will probably cry and throw a fit when it's time for me to leave here. I'm so serious. But no, but again, don't hesitate to reach out and ask any questions. Oh, I didn't say, I am on WhatsApp, 240-782-1540. I did sign up on WhatsApp, so if anyone has to reach out for any questions, it won't be long distance for them. So I am available to answer any questions. I don't myself work in one of the actual centers. I'm not a customer service representative assisting. However, they are amazing. Each one of them that are out in the centers are patient and amazing, and they are more than willing to help and answer any questions. But I am here as well. So yeah, I think that's all.
That covers all the bases. All right. Now, again, you might not have every single question answered in this interview, but you're going to be able to find it at sba.gov/disaster. It'll get you everything, get you a start. And if you want to find out more in person, you can go down to the Saipan Chamber of Commerce, second floor of the Marianas Business Plaza. You can't miss it. You said you got a banner up and everything?
Yes, we do.
There you go. You can't miss it. 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, and it opened today, so Tuesday. But still, Monday through Friday is a regular thing. So get down there. You don't have to have an appointment. You can make one, but you can also just walk in. Don't walk in at like 4:45 saying, hey, can we start a conversation? Because they're leaving at 5. So Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, like Dolly Parton was singing. That's it. All right, 9 to 5. No? Deep cut? It's okay. You don't have to. It's not that funny. It wasn't good. All right. That's what we've got for you for today, folks. We will leave you with the latest news update, though, because we did get one that just came in. So that's all we have. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for following us. If you haven't already, please follow us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, and subscribe to us over there on the YouTube. And that every time you subscribe, like, leave a comment, and all that stuff, it helps us out. Anyway, here's the latest news. We'll talk to you soon.
AP News, I'm Haya Panjwani. Israel's opposition leader is saying the ongoing U.S.-Iran deal is, quote, bad for the region. AP correspondent
I meant to capture a photo of myself, but
Israel's opposition leader Yair Lapid says the U.S.-Iran deal fails to meet Israel's goals and criticized Prime Minister Netanyahu for allowing Washington to negotiate with little Israel input. Lapid, who seeks to unseat Netanyahu in the upcoming elections, described the deal as disturbing and warned it will condemn Israel to future wars with Iran. He and fellow opposition leader Naftali Bennett have formed a coalition to challenge Netanyahu. Lapid ruled out a two-state solution and cooperation with Arab parties, but emphasized that Israel should avoid steps that would hinder a future Palestinian state. I'm Rika Ann Garcia.
AP's Ed Donahue reports on extreme heat overseas.
The UK broke its record for the hottest temperature recorded in May, 94.6 Fahrenheit.
Oh, it's too hot for me, even though I'm from Hong Kong, but that is a different level, I think.
How are you enjoying this?
Don't like it at all.
You don't like it, that's why you're sitting there in the shade.
The UK Health Security Agency issued its first Amber Health Alert of the year, warning of a possible rise in heat-related deaths. In France, 2 deaths were reported, possibly sports-related. Menon Hubert in Paris says it's quite scary for the future because we're not even in summer yet, not even in June. I'm Ed Donahue.
In a speech at Arlington National Cemetery, President Trump says Memorial Day is about remembering those who served and gave up their lives for the country.
We owe our liberty, our self-government, the glories of our history, and our very nation itself to the generations who paid for it with everything they had, the ultimate sacrifice.
This is AP News. AP's Julie Walker reports on an Everest summit record for climber Kenton Cool.
At 52 years old, British mountain guide Kenton Cool has scaled Mount Everest 20 times, and it looks like he's not stopping there, saying Sunday he might climb the peak 2 or 3 more times. And it seems it never gets old for Cool, posting this to his Instagram.
I stood on top of Everest for the 20th time, and it was absolutely amazing. We were there before sunrise, but as we came down towards the South Summit, we were greeted with one of the best sunrises I've ever seen.
Cool was among hundreds of climbers who reached the summit recently despite delays caused by dangerous conditions. A record 274 climbers scaled the peak Wednesday. Cool believes the focus should be on climbers' experience rather than limiting numbers. I'm Julie Walker.
I'm Haya Panjwani, AP News.